It hurts the consumers. It hurts the small businesses. It's a domino effect.
Absolutely. I think I see we have Blondie Pinnock. I'm going to pull her up. And also let me let Terry know as well. Hi, good afternoon, Ms. Pinnock. How are you? Can't hear you. Can you hear us?
Sorry.
There you go.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
There you go. We can hear. We can hear you now.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Okay.
I made it. I made it.
I always say technology is great when it works.
Yeah, right.
All right. So we've lost. We only have literally. We have literally 13 minutes. We've lost a considerable amount of time here. So there's a lot of catching up to do. I'm going to go backstage, and Terry and Brian, please do the honors of entertaining and interviewing our guests.
Absolutely. So
All right, thank you.
We're all in for a awesome treat. We have Blondell Pinnock, and Blondell now is with the Greater Jamaica Development Corp. But she was also a senior banker at Harvard Bank. Blondell did me the honors when I was a business professor to do my Shark Tank for my students, and really encourage them in their small businesses. And so, Blondell, I mean, you're on JumpStart the Economy. We're thinking of, especially with the pandemic going on, we're just trying to give a few nuggets to our listeners on just some of the things that they can do there. We're understanding the barriers. There's a lot of best practices in place, and we're looking for some more big ideas to kind of encourage them. And so since we've lost so much time, I'm gonna let you jump in. Tell us anything that you want to tell us about your expertise, because you have a lot of them. And then a couple of nuggets if you want to share them with our listening audience.
Sure. Thank you, Terry. Just wanted to first say that, and thank you for allowing me to be on this platform. I have worked very closely with small businesses, particularly small Black businesses, both on a for-profit side in my work with Bank of America and Carver Federal Savings Bank, which at the time was the largest Black-run bank in the country. I also now work very, very closely and intimately with small businesses in my work with Greater Jamaica Development Corporation. As COO for one of the oldest nonprofit development corporations in the country, our focus has always been to build and to help businesses not only survive but thrive, particularly those located in Southeast Queens and in the general and throughout the borough of Queens. I'm not a Queens girl. I am a New York City, Bronx, Harlem girl. So my venture into Queens was like going to a new destination, a new country. But one of the things I have learned is that Queens is the largest borough by landmass. And there are tons of businesses throughout Queens, and the level of diversity in Queens is unmatched by any borough. And what we have been able to do with small organization that we are really able to handhold the businesses to ensure that not only that they get the funds that they need, the capital that they need to survive in this type of environment, but also the technical assistance and the capacity building that they need to ensure that their businesses continue to thrive and move forward. One of the things, some of the nuggets that I could add, I think it's really important to take toll of your business operations right now, because what you're going through now is unlike any other period in time. We've never experienced this before. And prior to March, you could have had a thriving business from an economic standpoint that was profitable. But we all know that after March 13th, particularly in New York City, that things fell off the cliff. And it is very important to really take stock of where you are now as a business to see financially, can you move forward depending on the type of business that you are? If you are a service business, obviously there still are restrictions within the city and within the state that may prevent you from running your business in the manner in which you're used to. right? So you really need to take stock of what that means for you in the foreseeable future. And unfortunately, we don't know what that future is right now.
Mhm.
And what that may mean is it may mean time for you to take stock of revenues that you're getting in for the short term. It may mean taking the time to renegotiate your lease, if you are renting your lease with your landlords, because the landlords are being squeezed as it is as well, because many of them have mortgages, and notes and loans that they have to pay, and they are dependent on the rental income that they're getting from your business.
Mhm.
Well, for many of them, they are also struggling in some ways. So I think it's important to first have a conversation about how we're able to both restructure this business relationship that we have during this time. I
Mhm.
think you also take time, if you do have an existing debt, that you take the time to sit down with your banker or whoever financed your debt and think about restructuring your debt right now, because now is a critical time. You only have a certain amount of income coming in or none at all. So now would be the time to really sit with your creditor and really talk through what's the strategy and what is the solution that's going to keep you afloat for the time being. And it can come in many forms depending on the type of business that you are. But I think it's time that you really take stock of where you are financially, not where you were, but where you are financially today, and just be realistic about what that means. If you are a business that can, in fact, operate during this time, then I think you really need to take into account all the protective measures that may be required by your business. And what that means is that um, you may have to do some wayfinding. You may have to put up plexiglass. You may have to put in or install protective measures within your business. All of that costs money, money that you may not be getting at this particular moment in time. The good thing is that there are a number of grants and programs that are out there to assist businesses to help them get through this period of time. There are a number of programs that we are collaborating with. For example, LISC, Low Income Support Corporation. We are working in collaboration with them, and we're providing grants to businesses to help them during this time. So there are resources out there, and we know about PPP, we know about EIDL, we know about all these loan programs that existed, but there are other programs that are out there that are grants. There still is PPP right now, and EIDL has come back. So there are these loan programs that I think people may be intimidated by, but they should still try to apply for if they can get those funds. And the organization that I'm a part of, we help businesses walk through that process and understand what they need in order to apply for those programs and be successful.
Right. So I think it's a lot of you brought up a lot of key points. But basically what we're talking about is get your financial blueprint in order for businesses that had to step back from in the pandemic. You had an opportunity to now pause, right? So in this pause cycle, you need to look at your debt to credit ratio. You need to look at opportunities for you to pivot, for you to diversify on some levels. Because if you were in the service business, one of the things that I had to get my restaurants to do was to look at their website. That is no longer just a color, a color thing on a screen. You have to make sure that it's workable. You have to make sure that you have some sort of delivery service in place. If you have the capacity to cater, then start looking at places that you can cater food to during their lunch hour, because they're not able to go out like the first responders. So those are all things that we had to look at that they weren't used to looking at. And then for places like you said, we just had our YMCA's and our other gyms open. They opened up to like plexiglass dividers now. But if that's your business, if you actually are in a position to have the capacity to install that plexiglass, you should be going after those contracts, right? And so so your organization is able to put people in place on that level as well. I'm going to let my colleague Brian Phillips, Brian is from SureUp. I'm going to let him jump in. He may have some questions for you as well.
Well, certainly it's great to have you here, Blondell, with us. And,
Thank you, Brian.
when you're working in the business that you do, and it's even more about funding than funding, it's helping people and shepherding them along, right? And showing them the way and calming their nerves and, you know, just that value add that you provide to folks. Could you tell us a little about that and how you handle folks?
Sure. I mean, I think for us, we are an organization that's on the ground. And for many people, even though even though they may have access to banks, and many of them don't, but even if they do, a bank is a very intimidating building. It's an intimidating process for many people who are not comfortable with banks for whatever reasons. So it is working with an organization like ours, like Greater Jamaica, or other nonprofit community development financial institutions, or CDFIs as they're called. It allows a person to come in and feel at ease and be able to just have a one-on-one conversation about who they are, about their business needs, about how they can structure the business. Because 9 times out of 10, you don't even know what you need. You know you need money, but what type of money do you need? How often do you need to have it? Is it something that you can pay back over time? Is it something you can pay back within a year or two? So, I mean, I think these are the conversations that we're able to have with individuals that make them feel a little bit more comfortable. And we're able to stay with them through the life of the loan and help them restructure if they need to restructure, which we're doing right now. And help them really think through their business model so it can be the most profitable for them at the end of the day.
And I think what comes up for me is that when you mentioned grants, there was a time that you didn't put small businesses and grants in that same sentence, because there were no grants available outside of the STEM grants and stuff that was available through the STTIR, right? But now with the pandemic being what it is, there's absolutely, a few organizations, corporate, government, that have stepped in and are now offering small business grants. So I think that is phenomenal. That's very unprecedented.
There's money out there. just to be clear, there is money out there. I mean, we have been contacted by other organizations similar to ours saying, hey, can you find us women entrepreneurs in Queens?
Wow.
Because we have this money that we want to give to them. And we did. We found them. But we have this money that we want to get to them by a certain date. So there definitely are organizations that are out there. I think most of our for-profit big corporate organizations understand the needs in our community and understand that the small businesses are the lifeblood of our communities. And if they are not around, you just don't have the neighborhoods, you don't have the vibrancy, you don't have these businesses supporting the housing and the housing stock that most of these banks want to build. So they understand the importance of it, and they are pouring money into these communities, into these businesses, Black businesses, women-owned businesses, other minority businesses, because they know the importance of it, not just from a loan perspective, but from a grant perspective.
And I think that's important. So to our listeners, you heard it here first. There are grants available for small businesses. So if you're in a certain ethnicity or demographic or certain area, you should be looking for grants. We talk a lot about the loan, the EIDL loan, the Economic Injury Disaster loan through SBA, the P3 loan, which is a payroll protection program loan. But there's also grants available. One of the companies that Blondell mentioned was LISC, but there's a lot of others. I've even seen the for-profits like Hennessy offering a grant. I've
Facebook,
Facebook offering grant. Amazon. So
Amazon,
I've seen companies offering grants to small business owners because, like Blondell said, they are the lifeline of our economy. When small businesses grow and thrive, the community grows and thrive. And so I think that's important for us to take away from this conversation. So, and also in looking for diversifying. So one of the things I want to always bring it back when we're talking to Blondell, the first thing she wants small businesses to understand is to make sure that your financial paperwork and stuff is in order, right? And if you need an organization like the greater Jamaica Chamber, then there are organizations available for that technical support. There are organizations available for you to help you pivot or diversify your business, to look at, you know, your financials and make sure that you're in the right spot. Or if you need to pivot, they'll give you some tools and tricks to be able to do that. Correct?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, there are organizations like Bach, True Fund,
Yeah.
Stovro.
So, bro, yeah.
There are many nonprofit organizations that are Bed-Stuy Restoration
Mhm.
that are set up specifically to help small businesses within our local communities. I
And it's
think it's,
also government
and
also. So the
I,
Small Business Development Centers
yep,
and the Small
SBDC,
Business
service
Services
centers,
under New York City.
SBS,
Yeah, so
right.
there's government free services available. We Fund Women, and there's
Mhm.
a ton of others that are available in New York, New Jersey, and in Connecticut. Yeah.
And we work with SBS. We
Mhm.
provide webinars about PPP and making sure that the PPP is as forgivable as much as it can be for businesses. I think the untold story about PPP, and particularly within our community and our businesses, is that the majority of the businesses that did not get PPP was not because they did not have access to banking. It was because they did not have the paperwork
Right.
to complete those
That's right.
applications.
That's
And
right.
people,
Because you had to have your you had to have your tax papers. You had to
and
have a bank account. You
people
had to
don't
have
want
an
to talk
EIN
about,
number. Yeah.
right, people don't want to talk about that at the end of the day, because it wasn't a situation where, oh, Black businesses just didn't get it. I'm like, in some instances yes, but in the many cases, it's our businesses did not have the paperwork necessary to apply for PPP.
And so that's why we're here to jumpstart the economy, right? That's why Blundell's here, working with the greater Jamaica Development Court, to make sure that when you're coming through those doors, that you're actually having your paperwork in order. So when you need to go for a grant or a loan, that you have your financials in order, you have your tax returns in order, you have your EIN number, you have a capability statement. If you're going after government contracts, you have a DUNS number. If you're going after federal, you're in the SAM system, right? So they're making sure that all of those technical things that you need to have, you know, your financial forecast in order, then you'll have that, and you'll know what money you need to go for, right? Because that was another important thing that Blundell brought up. You know you need money, but what do you need money for? How long do you need that money for? Are you able to pay that money right back, or do you need some time to pay it back, or is it better for you to go after a grant since some are available in this pandemic? So these are all very important tools and tips and nuggets for small businesses that are looking to jumpstart the economy. You know, use these services, and they're free of charge in your community. So look for your chambers, look for your Greater Development Corps, look for your CDFIs and SBA and SBS, and any of those services that are available. And Brian, I'm sure in your community you also have some of these development corps and chambers that are available to help jumpstart the economy as well, correct?
Absolutely. And certainly, and I think Blondell, and you could speak very well to that, that those types of services are available all throughout the country. You know, they say if you seek, you will find, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
if you're a small business owner out there, you know, ask around and get the help that you need, because there are many folks there like Blondell and communities all across this country and the Virgin Islands that are there ready, willing, and able to help.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So Blundell, we want to thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
being a part of the conversation today to help jumpstart the economy. And you can leave us with one thing that you want our listeners to understand and to know about how to, like you said, thrive,
And
not just
survive.
grow, how to start, thrive, how to grow and thrive. What would that be?
I think the important thing, and Brian just touched on it, is like you have to ask. Like, don't be afraid, don't be intimidated to ask for what you need. And even if that means going to a bank several times and asking the question, even if that means being on forums like this and then coming back and asking, well, where can I find these organizations? I think if it's something that you need, if you want your business to survive and to thrive, I think it's important that you are not afraid and that you are bold enough to ask for the help that you need, because it's out there. And there are people that are out there that are willing to help, and there are funds that are there that are willing to help your business grow.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. So ask, and you shall receive. So you heard it here first on
Sounds
Jumpstart
great.
Our Economy. And Blundell comes with a wealth of knowledge in the financial institutions that she's been a part of. And now she's giving back, being a part of the Greater Jamaica Chamber. And it's a phenomenal opportunity for any of us that's in the New York area to look at some of those opportunities. But New Jersey and Connecticut also has those opportunities, in Boston, Massachusetts, all around. We have the technical.
Welcome to Tasters at the Fred. My name is Jessica Kyler, and we're here with the food and beverage manager, Scott Noel, better known as Scott from the Fred. Or what else do they call you in town?
Oh, well, lots of things, I'm sure. But hi, folks, everybody. Welcome to the Fred. How's everybody doing today?
We are so happy to have our venue and our live broadcast here for like the next 3 to 4 months, as long as they let us here. So we're super excited. And this resort, this boutique resort is amazing. So I'd like to introduce Scott to tell us a little bit about the resort, talk to him a little bit about himself, and talk to us about the food and bev. And then we're going to meet Chef.
Yep, definitely.
Who's in the kitchen making us a couple dishes, which is exciting. But basically, let's talk a little bit about your background, yourself.
Well, of
and
course.
Then every week, just real quick, every week we're going to go tour the Fred. So like maybe I was telling Scott, I was like, next week, maybe we'll do the bedrooms. Like we'll do the rooms. And then we'll do the spa because I need a spa treatment, I'm sure. And then we'll do the pool, and I'll make sure I would really keep a bikini on.
Okay, great.
But anyway, Scott, tell us a little bit about your background and talk to us just a little bit about the Fred. How long have you guys been open? Right. And yeah.
So, first and foremost, welcome to the Fred. We're thrilled you're here. Fred has Caribbean Food Network here and joining us. So, a quick little synopsis. I won't take up too much time. The Fred is the first new build on the island in almost 30 years. The gentlemen that own and design the property are Christopher Swanson and Jeffrey Prince. They are design builders out of the DC area. They went looking for a place to open up a resort that still offered all the amenities of the classic boutique resorts. And they looked all through the Cayman Islands and the BVI and the Central America and things like that. And they kept coming back to the USVI, specifically St. Croix, and they looked at several properties, and these two properties came online at the same time, which was bizarre. And they had been residential properties. The main house had been several things over the years. It had been a children's home. It had been a restaurant. Anybody who lives on the island knows the history of the Totten House. They bought
Cotton House?
The Totten, T-O-T-T-E-N.
Totten House, okay.
And we'll do that when we do the hotels, because all the houses have the history to them and a name to them. In a nutshell, they bought the two properties together. They came up with the concept and developed it into what is now the Fred. There was a huge thought process of developing a restaurant, a bar, a spa, a boutique resort that you did not have to leave the property. But at the same time, we are also in town. We're on the beach. So we are hoping that people will go take advantage of Frederickstead and also experience the beaches on the West End. There was, again, a lot of thought process that went into what is now the Fred.
Established as the Fred.
Right. And I will say that we were very fortunate to be named the best boutique resort in the Caribbean for 2020. So.
And we're glad that we're broadcasting here for hopefully a month. Fingers crossed. So tell us about Food to Bev. I mean, I know that's kind of changed with the pandemic and everything.
We are, like I said, we're the first new building on the island, so we literally had to create this from scratch. We put in a state-of-the-art kitchen into a 200-year-old building. Some of the property is dated from the 1750s. It was a bit of a challenge putting in a state-of-the-art kitchen because we have to live up to current building codes, and exhaustion and fire codes and health codes and all that stuff, which we did. But it was just a little bit of a challenge getting it fit into the space that we were given. And so, but we've done that. It took a little time. It took a few hurdles. And then we also did a huge global search for chefs. We interviewed 180 people for our chefs.
I'm sure a chef would want to come down to the Caribbean. I mean, wouldn't that be their dream job?
And the view from the kitchen is the same as the view from the restaurant.
Unbelievable.
So.
And we'll have Anthony show you. He's our camera guy today. Just show him our view, Anthony, real quick. How amazing is that?
So anyway, we interviewed several chefs and we found the most fantastic candidate who you'll meet shortly. His name is Fahim Maloud. Our mantra here at the restaurant is barefoot chic. We are a beach resort. We are also, we would like to offer a little bit fine dining. So we have 2 dining rooms. The alfresco dining room is what you just saw. It's our outdoor space. You can be out here barefoot in your bathing suit, coming up off the beach, having a beautiful, spa luncheon. Then we have our gallery dining room, which is a little bit more resort casual, just shoes and shirt. And that's going to be a little bit more, if you're coming for an anniversary or your birthday and would like a nice steak or a piece of Caribbean lobster or a fresh piece of fish. So we have a lighter luncheon menu and then a more resort casual dinner menu. So.
I love it.
And obviously a full bar. We have a bar upstairs called the Sky Deck, which we're going to be crafting into a craft martini bar eventually.
Ooh, and we'll be showcasing that in the next couple of weeks.
It's been interesting because, again, building a restaurant from scratch in the Caribbean is always a little bit of a challenge. We did have to have a lot of the equipment sent down from the States. But we got it all here. We got it up and running. We found the perfect candidate for chef. We got everything up and running. And then COVID came along and sort of put a little damper on us.
Rocked our world a little bit.
Rocked our world a little bit. But we are back up and running and operating and serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week.
Absolutely. In their kitchen, we'll be doing a cooking show with the Caribbean Food Network in their kitchen eventually. And it's one of the best kitchens I've ever looked at.
Well, thank you.
So you know.
Thank you very much.
All right. So what is one of your signature drinks that everyone must try when they come to the Fred?
Well, we try to locally source as much as possible. Obviously, Crucian rum is the main source here on the island, but we also wanted to mix it up a little bit. We like branding a lot of our stuff. So today we're going to feature our Red Fred. Karen's one of our bartenders.
Karen, thank you so much.
So thank you so much. So this is one of our signature drinks. We were trying to do something different than a lot of heavy rum drinks, which is what you can get a lot of places.
Right.
So this is a little bit lighter of a daytime drink. We feature Stoli raspberry, a little fresh lime juice, some ginger beer, and a splash of cranberry. So it's a nice daytime drink, and it's one of the signature drinks here at the Fred. So if you come by, you will see our entire drink list.
Now, who's the mixologist behind all these?
Yours truly.
Yep,
so,
exactly.
But I also have amazing bartender staff that I give them free reign. The nice thing about here on the island is that we get locally sourced things like sorrel, mint, ginger. Someone will walk in with fresh basil, and then I just give it to my bar staff and let them run with it. Obviously, we feature Mutiny Vodka, which is the local crafted vodkas, things like that. So we love that kind of stuff, that we're helping to support local businesses, and we also get to create something that is unique not only to St. Croix, but to the Fred. So.
Well, good. Okay. Well, we're going to go and meet Chef here shortly.
Okay, great.
Let's. I know Chef has a couple dishes for us. That we have some from our dinner menu.
We are today. We're going to feature. We are serving lunch and dinner. Lunch is from 11 to 4. Dinner is from 5 to 8. And then we also are getting back into doing some catering and some private events. Again, all with the COVID restrictions, we are having to, do that very delicately, but we do also offer like wedding packages, special events and things like that. So we're going to feature baby showers, birthday parties,
wedding showers.
You name it, we can do it.
Because we have how many rooms here? 40?
22. 22
so,
rooms. We can sleep 48.
You can sleep 48. That's what I was saying.
And what we're going to hopefully get back here is, as things are being lifted a little bit, is getting back into some private events and catering. And that tonight we're going to show you one of our dinner menus. It's one of our small plates off of our dinner menu. And then a new feature that we just put onto our catering menu, which we are revamping. And hopefully we'll be back into catering here shortly.
I mean, it's part of just the pandemic. I mean, it's
a challenge.
It's a
but
challenge,
we're doing the
but-
best we can, and
I heard you had a good Sunday brunch here.
we are testing some Sunday brunch menu items.
Right.
So we're hoping to have rolled out full Saturday and Sunday brunch here very soon. But so we're testing a few items, see what works well
Great.
and what the customers are looking for. So
Right. Well, I know they're looking for the
great.
for the beach.
The beach,
This
well-
atmosphere, and this place is so cute, guys. I can't wait to give you guys a tour next week. We'll focus on the bedrooms.
Of course.
And then we'll go, like I said, other things.
And-
We have Chef rolling in.
Here's Chef Fahim.
Scott.
My pleasure.
Chef Fahim's in the house.
Doing
Anthony, I'm going to come over. You come over this way. Face this way. Oh my God, this looks so good. Yeah. So I'm going to have you come right next to me over here. So we're going to face this way. This is Chef Fahim. He's the executive chef here at the Fred. Fahim, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
And the food looks amazing, but real quick, let's just talk a little bit about yourself. Like, where are you from? Where did you start? I know you might have some Parisian roots, some St. Croix roots
Right,
here.
right. Yeah,
Okay.
well, originally born in Boston.
Okay.
My uncle is from here. Uncle's been here 20 years.
Okay.
He's been trying to get me to come to the island for years. And this was kind of like the right
Time,
opportunity.
right place.
Right time, right place. So I'm just here doing my thing. Again, originally born in Boston, grew up in Atlanta,
Okay.
but I've been all over the world.
But you have roots here in St.
I
Croix.
do have roots here in St. Croix.
They're
Yes, I do.
your uncle, they're happy you're here.
They are.
And
They are very
do they
happy.
live west?
They live actually east.
Okay.
Mary Roebuck, Stanley Sneed.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
very good. So tell us about your culinary background a little bit.
Uh,
Boston's a great city.
yeah, Boston,
I mean, they have the best restaurants up
I
there.
went to the Art Institute of Atlanta.
Okay.
I met a chef, Martin Garnier, which is my master chef, my chef. Took me on his wing for about 7 to 9 years. Took me to Belize, Australia,
Wow.
just all over,
Well
just
traveled.
to get me ready
Great.
and certified.
Okay.
And since then, I've just been doing my thing.
All
Been
right.
traveling around, letting people experience my food. This is
Awesome.
what I enjoy.
Okay.
You know?
Now, how long have you been on island now?
I've been on island now, coming up on a year.
On a year. Okay. So you got your year. Okay.
Yeah,
And I cannot wait to do, like I was telling Scott, I can't wait to do a cooking show with you.
exactly.
But I know that you have two different kinds of menus. You
Right.
have your catering menu, and then you have your restaurant menu.
Yes.
So let's talk about our two dishes that we have here today.
So here we have a watermelon crab salad.
Ooh.
This is on our banquet menu.
Banquet
You
menu.
can get it at the
Okay.
path hors d'oeuvre or as a hors d'oeuvre period. It's just pickled watermelon, fresh crab meat, a nice fresh ponzu I made in-house with like citrus in it, fish sauce, sesame, and then with a nice ponzu sauce on top, topped off with microgreens.
Oh,
Very
lovely.
light, good dish.
Where do you get your microgreens from?
I get them from Ansley Farms.
Okay. We have some amazing microgreens here.
Yes.
Okay. And let's talk about this dish here.
This is spicy ginger mussel.
And this is a
doing
good portion of mussels.
Yeah, I've been doing it. You get a pound. You get a full,
Do
you
you?
get a full-
That's
yeah,
good.
Full pound. Yeah, that's good. Been doing this one for a while. And I thought it would be good for the island. So the spicy ginger mussels. And as you can see, you got the big piece of ginger. You got the garlic in there, a lot of spices, fresh herbs at the end with the IPI mussels. It's just a good dish.
It's a great dish.
It's savory. It's spicy. It's good eating.
And tell us a little bit more about what is actually on your dinner menu. I saw you have a duck on the dinner
Yeah, we
menu.
have a smoked duck
Mhm.
with a potato pancake.
Okay.
Sauteed spinach with a sweet cassis sauce.
Oh,
Also, we
delicious.
have, of course, my mother's famous fried chicken
Oh,
that I do. And we do that with the smoked Gouda mac and cheese and sauteed
smoked
spinach.
Gouda mac and cheese and
Yeah.
fried chicken. Then I'm going to go snorkeling
Right.
after I eat that. I might snorkel the pier for the evening, but that sounds amazing. And of course, fresh fish.
Fresh fish, yes.
Now you are so lucky that you have the Fisher's Market there.
Yes. Mhm.
Do you? I mean,
I
do
have-
they
I-
deliver, or do you go down?
They deliver. I have 4 guests. We had a guest here a few weeks ago that actually wanted fresh fish. So I actually took him down, let him pick his fish, and did a whole meal for him.
Here.
Here. Yes.
Now that's service.
Yeah. So
That's
that was pretty
service.
cool. That's kind
Yeah.
of stuff I like to do.
Right. What's running right now in the?
Well, it's always mahi right here.
I know.
It's usually mahi. Every once in a while, a friend of mine actually last week said he did catch some tuna.
Okay.
You know, so but other than that, it's mahi.
Yeah. I know.
But
But we get this time of year we get our lobsters.
yeah, you get your lobsters.
Yeah.
In. I get those. Last couple of them been kind of small,
Yeah.
but rather have them.
Mhm.
but I definitely do my stuff lobster here when I get them in.
Yeah,
I do that.
absolutely.
At least try to do it once a month.
All right.
You know. So
So open right now. You know,
we're
we don't know where we're going, but right now we're open for
yeah.
lunch and dinner.
Right now we're open. So while we're open,
Right.
I'm going to.
And we can, you know, my thing is I want to have a party upstairs. I want to have a private party and have your catering menu up there, and you know, and spend the weekend here. And the great thing about the Fred is that it's dog friendly.
Yes.
And they don't welcome kids. So guess what? I can leave the kids at home,
Exactly.
and it's great. Anything else more you want to add?
Oh no, I just want you to enjoy it. At least taste the food.
Yes.
Let me know what you think. You know, let the customers and guests know website know. You know. Yeah, we do.
Oh yeah, what is your website?
Eatwithfred.com.
Eatwithfred.com, and I love your branding and everything. So what would you suggest if someone came to dinner at the Fred? What's your number one seller?
I would suggest the duck because it's something
delicious.
new. You know what I'm saying? Something different. You know what I'm saying? I smoke the duck myself. You know.
You smoke it yourself?
Smoke it myself. Pancakes are made fresh every day. So I would suggest that.
And what's it like working in one of the best kitchens on St. Croix? That's
It's nice.
state of the art.
It's nice to come out and be at the ocean, right out the kitchen.
His
That's
view,
pretty
we'll
nice.
show that view in a couple weeks, the view that he looks at every day.
Right. It's pretty
Scott designed it well. He did. And it's state of the art, so it's amazing. Well, thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. And so the Fred will be here hopefully for the next 4 weeks, everyone. Tasters at the Fred. We're going to be showcasing a piece of the property, introducing different chefs in Frederickstead while we're here for the next 4 weeks. So thank you for joining. And let's say thanks to Scott again. So Scott, next week, let's talk about, like I said, we'll do upstairs, we'll do the bedrooms, because I know you have those really comfy beds what are they called again?
The Tempur-Pedic. It's a commercial grade Tempur-Pedic bed. We've got all the rooms. Again, we'll talk about this in more detail next week. But the guys who designed the place really put a lot of thought into the rooms. All the bathrooms are European style, ensuite bathrooms, air conditioning. We'll go into that in more detail next week.
Yeah.
But we're just so thrilled that you're here. I'm looking forward to the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And please
We're
go to our website.
Wait, website,
Please go to our website, eatwithfred.com. And also our event site is drinkwithfred.com. We're actually doing a wine tasting this evening. So if you go to the website, you'll see what's coming up here at the Fred. And if you've not been here, please come on over and hang out. We offer day passes for the pool. The restaurant, the bar is always open to the public.
Mm-hmm.
So please come on over. We are open for business.
Right, and they're right on the water.
And we're right on the water.
And the pool is just breathtaking. I mean, it's probably one of the best pools I've ever seen. And we'll showcase that again. At another time. I was in the spa earlier because it's a little warm here in the Caribbean. And it's like 90 degrees.
It's about 91 degrees today. It's probably the hottest day we've had so far. So.
And I was like, okay. Scott's like, go in the spa. Well, thank you for joining us. I'm just going to walk around the grounds real quick with Anthony. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay. So let's take a quick walk. I just want to showcase where our location is this week because we're right here on the ocean, and it's nice because they do put the chaise lounges down on the water with umbrellas, and they do service down there. And it's great snorkeling here because we're right on the Frederickstead Pier, and they say it's some of the best snorkeling. I snorkeled there a couple of times. I don't remember the last time, and we do jump off the pier sometimes when they let us. Full bar, like we said, they have everything stocked here. And eventually, once COVID and the pandemic settle down, they will have bar service. So people can come here and eventually live music and everything. We'll showcase the kitchen in a couple weeks. But until then, guys, thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you next week at Tasters at the Fred. Thank you. Hey. Yeah.
about this
Yes.
property. So